We are back, and after a week's break, we are refreshed and raring to go. We're going to see what the players do next, now that they are heading to Thornhold. For those watching, Thornhold is a independent area that is housed by all of the nations. So you are going to get a little bit of a taste of every country on the continent of Kovere. Players, how are we doing tonight?
Huzzah!
There we
Alive.
Doing pretty
alive
good.
Alive is good. Pretty good is better.
I crave the death of my foes.
No longer hacking my lungs out.
That's always a plus, and we're going to have to talk about that craving the death of your enemies one. Okay, so who are you shooting now?
No, I was just testing my rolls, but
Okay.
There it goes. That's damage.
There we go. I was about to say,
Like, how did I get 25
are you shooting
damage?
Gearfried already? We just started.
No. He hasn't done anything today.
Not yet.
Yet.
Last we left off, the players had just passed by a village that was being ransacked by a combination of undead Karnathi soldiers and a vampire who would have seen them passing by and ultimately would have followed them to the campsite. In that instance, thinking and acting quickly, the vampire that was attacking them was quickly dispatched within one turn, I believe, by 11. Not that I'm sour about that in any way, shape, or form. My poor vampire. But the players did succeed in killing the 2 Karnathi soldiers, undead soldiers that were also there, which is now plaguing the question. Why is Karnath attacking Thrain? Considering just 5 years earlier, the Treaty of, ironically, Thornhold was signed. That is what ended the 100-Year War. Players, you are at the campsite. You have just dispatched these individuals. Zarya, you have just woken up from your long sleep. What would you all like to do?
Yeah, Cyrus just kind of comes out of it. Well, she's going to stay invisible for a little while longer, so she's not there. But she's like, I'm all good.
How's Zarya doing? Zarya!
Am I even here?
Yeah, you're here. You're just on the
Okay.
boat.
Which is near.
Yeah.
She's still on the boat.
So Zarya, at this point, you would be waking up. You would be feeling refreshed.
What happened to me? Why was I asleep?
You had a busy couple of days. It's fine. You're fine. Everything's fine.
Could have had something to do with that mist that I saw and everyone decided was not enough of a big deal to do anything about.
Okay. I don't think I can do my Russian accent. I'm still kind of hoarse.
No worries.
You're good.
Wait, you could do a horse accent?
Ba-doom.
Oh my god.
Terrible joke. Boo.
Yeah.
DM, would I know if this is is this clearly a vampire or do we not know what that is?
You could investigate the body if you'd like.
Gearfried will investigate the body.
Okay,
It's a medicine check.
please and thank you.
Levin's gonna just unceremoniously pick as many crossbow bolts that are salvageable out of him.
Yep, you'd be able to recover half of them.
Okay. 18.
You would be able to see, obviously, the extended canine teeth. You would be able to see the nails are more claw-like. You see that as you're kind of pressing your fingers against, you feel that the muscles seem denser.
Gearfried will, as he's looking over the body, he's going to mutter to himself, all right, vampiric. And off of the top of Gearfried's head, would he know anything about the history of Karnath's use of undead, specifically whether or not they used vampires often?
Go ahead and give me a history check.
Something I'm good at.
There we
Not a
go.
20.
You can really only recall rumors of vampires. You've never seen one. The stories are more from old tales you would have heard growing up of the Vampire King and how it's possible that his generals were vampires, but the army itself is usually strictly undead. It's enough that there's no verification, so you would really only be able to recall lore.
Gearfried will, as he's looking over the body, and Fennec is picking the arrows out of him, Gearfried will, what did I say? What did I say?
Hispanic.
Said Fennec.
Oh, God damn it. I'm sorry. Levin. Gearfried will just comment and say, well, from what I know, if this is from Karnath, it's not typical for them to use vampires as cannon fodder unless this was supposed to be a higher ranking sort of official. I don't know. Histories are a
I
little
like
off
to
there.
imagine around this time, you all see an axe kind of floating out from back, like an axe kind of float up from the barge and start moving towards the corpse. And then when it gets there, it raises up, comes down, and chops off the head.
Of the spawn that we're looking at right now?
Yeah, of the vampire.
Oh. I'm assuming that's you, Saris.
Yes, it is. Just being thorough.
Well, I'm no expert when it comes to monster hunting. That was more Yami's prerogative, but I think there has to be a wait, no, that's for the proper vampires. That's a wooden stake.
I
Anyway.
feel like a lot of things suffer poorly from a headless state.
I feel that there's probably something that bypasses that probably heard you on some sort of astral level and will now come to murder us all.
We should take that thing's head as well.
Something tells me it has countermeasures.
You are very paranoid, and I don't know where you're getting it from.
A consequence of traveling with you.
That's nonsense. I'm completely trustworthy.
You
Why are you
hotwired
picking
my
up-
vehicle not 3 days ago.
Yes, I helped it get better.
I'm not doing this with you right now. Gearfried's going to check this thing's pockets while Levin takes out the rest of the arrows.
Yeah, you're just you're talking with an expressionless voice at the moment.
Yes. Is there anything in this guy's pockets?
You are able to find a satchel of 200 gold pieces.
Looks like he's got about 100 gold in here.
Love it.
Mm,
I'm going to give it inspiration.
Now someone's rolling high on a travel budget.
Yeah, wait, 100 gold. That's quite a bit of coin for...
Unless he's pillaging the villages he's going through.
Could be bribe money. Paying off people to, maybe take a vacation on a day when they should be fortifying the defenses.
Perhaps.
Could also be a
Anyhow.
quartermaster.
Possibly, but you don't need to pay the undead. They work for free. It's great. So I hear.
What about the intelligent ones?
There are intelligent ones? Well, and then she looks at the
Yeah,
vampire. Right.
Doesn't Karnath have commanders for these?
As far as I'm aware, at least if you believe the rumors, then yes, they are. Or if you don't believe the rumors, then yes, they are generals that should be paid. If you do believe the rumors, then they are vampires that probably have something of a blood budget, I would imagine.
I mean, they're walking with their own rations, so yeah, that makes sense.
And it's to my understanding that Karnath uses undead to fill their ranks, but it's not exclusively undead.
Well, no, but going by what we've seen here, this creature doesn't seem to have been traveling with anyone living, at least not that I can see.
He might just be conscripting as he goes.
Then he might have taken this money from someone else.
Well, we now have a little extra padding in our pockets in case, and Gearfried's going to motion up to the ship in case someone starts to develop certain issues with us. Overcharging.
What?
You know, the cleaning fees and all that.
Cleaning fees? What are you going on about?
I think he has some misgivings with our current accommodations for transport.
It's fine. When are we taking Carpe Diem out for a spin again? Getting antsy.
Well, it would probably have to be sometime after we make landfall in wherever it is we're going. DM, where are we going again?
Thronehold.
Do we get to Thronehold? Which I'm just realizing I don't know what their policies on vehicles are. That might be something.
Nothing like finding out
considering
firsthand.
Considering we're not going to be staying, you could viably leave it on the vessel.
Well, yes, I'm strictly. I'm more so trying to answer Saris's question on when we could take it out for a spin. Potentially Thronehold, but if they don't allow vehicles in their streets, then we'll just keep Carpe Diem on the vessel.
I would be surprised if they didn't. Dragonmock houses are everywhere. And so are their contrivances.
With that, though, we are going to just skip ahead to the next day. I believe we were on like the second to third watch. We're just going to skip to the next day, unless there's anything particularly you guys would like to do before the end of the night.
Nope.
Alrighty. Moving on to the next day, you are going to see at nearly the crack of dawn, for those of you who actually sleep, you're going to start hearing the maneuverings of the sails and things like that as the ship is getting ready, or being made ready.
Interesting.
Gearfried.
Yeah, what's going on?
Was there any proof on any of the undead that they were specifically deployed from Karnath?
No, I don't believe that. What was there? Were they wearing?
There
were
was
they
not.
Karnathi gear?
The soldiers,
no,
yes.
there was.
The vampire, no.
The soldiers were bearing Karnathi emblems. It's entirely possible that they were just resurrected dead Karnathi soldiers, but given Karnath's history with using soldiers of the undead variety, it wouldn't shock me.
If Karnath is leading military forces in Thrain, they're technically in breach of the treaty.
And they would be.
Being one of the Thronehold nations, they are not allowed to initiate attacks on any other signatory nation. Against any other signatory nation.
So why would they be trying to break the treaty? Or what would be worth breaking the treaty then? As far as I'm aware, they benefit from it as much as anyone else does.
Haven't been able to figure that one out yet.
Tinfoil hat theory here. Do we have tinfoil in this realm?
Yes, you would have to.
Crazy.
There's aluminium.
crazy theory. And this is just me, offering something up. These soldiers are a dime a dozen. They fall everywhere. They get resurrected everywhere. If someone were so inclined, they could potentially try to make it seem as though Karnath is being aggressive towards its neighbors.
Would it be in... I would assume it would be in multiple parties' interest that this be properly investigated.
Well, not when
Yeah,
it's
it probably
parties.
would be.
Oh, I never suggested that we be the ones to investigate it. But
Maybe we
considering we're heading to Thronehold, we may be able to petition someone to start.
True. Also,
Well-
in the morning, I have prepared the water walk spell, and I will spend 10 minutes to cast it on up to 10 creatures, which I think is the captain and our group.
Okay. Very nice.
That'll
I'm
last for
assuming-
8 hours.
I'm assuming it's self-explanatory. It allows you to walk on water, right?
Correct.
Right.
There you go.
Until long rest, or is there a duration for time?
8 hours.
8 hours. That's good.
I learned recently about water block is if you cast it while you're underwater, you'll shoot up to the surface of the water. So
Or
instantly
if something
stop
drags you
blasting.
under the water, you will float to the top.
Mhm.
So as that's being done, you are going to hear the captain calling out, "Oi, let's start going. We have to actually get there in a timely manner. They don't allow ships to make port after sunset. If it can't be helped, you have to anchor down and go in the next morning."
Righto? Let us be on our way.
Anybody who is doing anything in the morning, now is the time to do it before you board onto the ship.
I'm just double checking my prepared spells.
How about for the rest of you? Zarya, Levin, Gearford.
I'm checking my prepared spells as well.
Alrighty.
Zarya
Levin
is-
tending to his equipment.
Zarya is good to go after her very long nap.
Yes, very long nap.
I
You
think.
Yeah, go
Sorry.
ahead.
I think additionally at the beginning of. Well, no, she'll save it for later. I won't do that now. Yep, I'm done. Never mind.
You were going to notice that Maylee is sitting on the ship already, but she's still maintaining her meditative state. Everybody give me an Arcana check.
This will end well.
Oh, it's going to be
Oh.
great.
Levin's actually okay at these.
I did surprisingly well for what I know.
Hmm. Dang.
All right.
Hey, that's,
They-
for having a -1, that's good. That's okay.
No,
Pretty
it's not
solid.
bad.
That's really good.
But you aren't going to notice, the rest of you, you guys are going to notice a sense of magic radiating from Medley. It's nothing that's too noticeable, which is why the DC was a bit higher for this one. But
Mhm.
it's not what you're used to from being around her, as if the change has been affecting her.
Can I just tap her on the shoulder? Like, hey.
You certainly can. And
Yeah.
you are going to notice that initially she doesn't react.
I will give her a little more of a force, like not like rough, but just, a little more like,
You're going to
hey,
notice that
give her a little jostle.
she jumps as if you completely scared her, catching her off guard.
Oh, sorry.
I'm
Sorry. You're on the ship. You were just dressed in, and it didn't seem like you were waking up, so, gave you a little jostle on the shoulder. Nothing serious.
Sorry, I didn't realize it was morning already.
Yeah, no, yeah. Never actually seen an elf meditate longer before. How was it?
It was interesting. It was almost like I was in a
Mhm.
void.
In a void.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she kind of just shakes her head and stands up, stretching.
All right, well. Yep, just wanted to let you know we're getting ready to set off and should be in Thronehold before dark, I guess.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. Stretch the legs and maybe get a drink.
Indeed. Curious to see how effective the city watch is.
And
I
unless
hope
there's
it's on
any...
par to the quality at Sean.
Well, here's hoping, but you're a little biased, aren't you?
How so? I love law enforcement.
Well, no, I mean, you just love Sean.
I mean, yes. But everyone can aspire to be more like Sean.
I think it's pretentious.
Oh, that's only because you've been on... I mean, if you're in the upper tiers, certainly, but you get down into lower Dura, the ruggedness, the deprivation, the just muck-filled streets and the glinty-eyed stare of all the citizens warms your heart.
Nothing what you're saying sounds remotely appealing, Ceres.
Yeah, no.
That's because you're all dead inside and have no passion.
Yeah.
Sounds like they're dead inside.
As this is going on, the ship is beginning, where the boat is taking off, and you are now making your way downstream once more.
When Zarya says that, she looks at him, if I were dead inside, I wouldn't have felt bad when I had to kill my friends after they betrayed me.
You're a fucked up little person, aren't you?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm just like everyone else I knew in Lower Dura.
Sadly, she's
Kind of gives you a look of like, that explains a lot.
What were you about to say, Levin?
Yeah, he was actually agreeing with Ceres on this one. It's like, she's not wrong.
She's mildly disturbed at how often she's starting to realize her and Levin seem to have, like, maybe not the same... Their wavelengths are in sync more often than she'd care to admit. She just looks at Levin and is like, thank you. Yes.
Ceres, you'll forgive me for being curious about a statement, though. This isn't me asking you to talk about it, but do note that I am curious about when you mentioned betrayal.
Yes?
No, I'm specifically leaving it at that. You tend not to talk about yourself.
Ah, right. Well then, yes. Betrayal happens in Lower Dura.
Part and parcel.
Indeed.
That said, Ceres,
Yes.
you're usually one who has roundabout ways of thinking of things.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Either way, what do you think would benefit... How do I put this? How do you think Konath would benefit from this type of activity? I'm currently
Going on
not
the
seeing it.
Well, assuming there is a benefit to be had, it seems to be taking everyone by surprise. It does sow fear and terror into the populace. I know I'm certainly afraid of an army of undead marching upon me in my sleep. So there's, I suppose, a morale advantage, but it's short term because usually these sort of things lead to people wanting revenge for all their lost loved ones. And then they show up in your alleyway and they shank your best friend and you have to get them back.
All right, let's turn the question around a little bit. Who do you think would stand to benefit most from Karnath violating this?
Everyone who wants to wipe Karnath off the map and is looking for a pretense to do so. They're not the most popular nation, given their own predilection towards recruitment.
Would you agree with me that that wouldn't necessarily involve only the signatory nations?
It could, or if you're, say, a nation like Dargoon, looking to sort of legitimize yourself, you might.
Dargoon's a recognized nation; they're not a signatory. You're right.
If you're looking like Dargoon or Drome, one of those nations looking for something to sort of, it's a really long play across a wide map, but if you're looking to make everyone look towards Karnath before you move in and make a grasp for expansion, it's a good way to go about it. Also, the gnomes of Zalago could just be fucking with everyone. As a means of just, keeping everyone on their toes. If it's Zalago, I have no idea what their agenda might be.
Drome's not known for a political place like that.
No.
That would be troubling if they were the ones leading the charge on that.
Yeah, and well, Dargoon probably has a sort of a seat at the table. Maybe if they want like a bigger piece or looking for some sort of distraction to close the gap between Thrain and Breland, or Thrain and Dargoon, make some sort of play for expansion. I don't know. In general, people benefit from Karnath being an aggressor as a pretense to attack Karnath and take over their territory.
This is one of the reasons why I dislike politics.
I mean, it's pretty simple. Find the weakest guy, shank him, and then you walk away. After you take the stuff.
Again, one of the reasons why I dislike politics. They tend not to be simple.
I've always liked politicians. I know where I stand with them.
I'm assuming at the handle.
I mean, usually they assume I'm gutter trash, and that's been convenient as an assumption.
Thank you for your insight. I have a few things to think about.
Indeed.
So as this is going on, it is going to take about 6 hours to get to Thornhold. Is there anybody else who would have any sorts of conversations along the way, or would we just prefer to time skip ahead?
Might as well just get to Thornhold for now.
Alright, so as you are getting as you see the island in view, you see the style of Breland, the structure of the buildings and things like that. You ride the coast up, and not too far away, about a mile or two away, you would be able to see the style of the structures that were actually just being burnt down as you pass by that village being ravaged. And you'd be able to recognize it as a Thrain style of architecture. You begin to pull into this area here, where you officially do make your dock, and you are free to move about Thornhold.
Oh my god. Look at that beautiful, beautiful walls and buildings. Buildings and walls. We should go to the Brailish Quarter. Maybe I can get a decent cup of tall there.
Personally, I'm more interested in the Carnathi Quarter. If not for the food, then for the potential intrigue on what exactly might be going on.
Well, I am going to head to the Brailish Quarter, look around, get me that cup of tall made proper, and then maybe peruse the populace and see what Brailish people in Thronehold are like.
Alrighty. What would the rest of you like to do?
I'm going to
wait,
take a proper bath. We've been on the water for too long.
Before y'all go, Gearfried's going to hand out 33 gold to Saris, 33 gold to Levin, and 33 gold to Zarya. From the vampire.
Oh, not keeping a share for yourself?
No, I figure I have been spending too much. And the other 100 gold Gearfried is keeping in Carpe Diem, the emergency fund.
Saris is going to insight Gearfried, not so much to know, like, just to see, like, she's looking for some sort of tell that he kept some gold for himself and didn't mention it, which is a thing she would do.
Listen, you're suspicious.
Sarah assumes that of everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So-
but that's why it's like it's almost a default insight check on everybody, but she's doing it right now actively on Gearfried.
there you go. Go ahead and give me those contesting checks. So deception versus insight.
18.
Okay, hold on. Let's see. Details. Deception.
Saris just looks at him. Of course. Well, it's kind of you to take your spending into account and, just, be fair about it. I appreciate that. I trust
I know.
you, Gearfried.
I'm happy to finally hear you admit that. Now, who wants me to supervise?
Supervise.
I don't
What?
know. I'm not buying anything. If anyone,
Oh,
I'm
I
just
mean, if
saying.
you want, that would
I
be
imagine
rich.
we're all going to break. I imagine we're all going to break off and do our own thing. So
Yep,
if
that's my
anyone
question.
needs an extra set of arms for any potential danger, and Gearfried's going to look back. Well, Fennec's asleep, but if anyone else plans on getting in any danger and might need the aid of someone who can, and Gearfried's just going to look at his gauntlets and zap them as an example.
Oh,
I'm
that
just saying
reminds
we have a reputation, we'll say.
That reminds me. Zarya, dear. I'd like to hire you to bodyguard my bodyguard. And she throws 33 gold pieces to Zarya.
Sure.
Excellent.
Okay. I was already doing that.
Yes, but I pay you on a per job basis.
So
Okay.
it's payday for you.
Sorry, it has money.
Now you have 66 more gold pieces.
Saris, if I could ask for you to do something.
Okay.
You're headed over to the Brailish Quarter. Would you be able to
Yes.
find out if they've been petitioning about what's been happening with the Carnathi soldiers?
Petitioning for what exactly?
Considering it's a violation of the treaty and more than a couple of important
Oh.
people also therefore know about it.
Petitioning for war?
More specifically for recompense.
I can ask around.
DM,
Whatever information you can get.
real quick, was I'm blanking on his name. The guy with the metal leg. I'm sorry. I'm
Ram.
Ramos.
Uncle Ram Ram.
Ramos.
Ramos. Ram.
Yep.
Was Ramos in? He wasn't in Thronehold, was he?
You know he was last seen in Karnath, but you could assume he may have stopped in through Thronehold. You're not sure, but you can inquire
Okay.
about it.
They're
Right, it
good
might
odds
be-
to pass through.
It might be a good idea to try and gain information on whether or not Ramos passed through here, since he's still so rudely ignoring our messages.
I mean, I haven't sent him any messages since the last
And
one you replied to.
I was gonna say he did technically respond.
Yeah, he has. Well, he has. I haven't sent another message since the response. Is what I'm saying.
Well, in that case, Saris, do you want to try to send him another message and let him know that we're in Thronehold?
Sure. Give me one moment. And let me. Did I prepare for level spells?
I'm gonna say if you have the
Um,
ability to ritual cast it, that's fine as well. That would only take 10 minutes.
yeah, no, sending isn't a ritual spell.
All right.
And I did not prepare it today, so she's like, oh, yeah, no, I can't send him a message today. Maybe tomorrow morning.
Yeah, sure. How long are we planning on staying here exactly?
It looks at the captain. I assume we're departing in the morning.
Yes, that was my assumption, unless you wanted to stay longer.
No, we are on a time scale, a time crunch of sorts.
We're on a schedule.
Yes, that one. What he said.
And you are going to notice that, yeah.
I was just going to say, imagine if we leave before you get the sending spell, and then we do the sending, and he replies, "Oh, I'm in this city."
Turn around!
Turn around, come back.
That would be frustrating. But the weird roundabout way he responded to us previously makes me think he's probably not here.
Yeah, probably. Just be funny.
It would be.
But he is a man of... He has a reputation about him.
He is full of surprises.
Well, it wouldn't be hard to find out if he's come through.
It's true. He belongs to like a group of mercenaries.
He was an administrator in Rhodes.
Oh, never mind.
You know he's also had direct audiences with the king.
Okay, so he's a known quantity at a high level.
Yeah, like with the way that he's been able to get you discounts and basically afford to cover your lightning rail travels.
He's got pull.
You could assume that he's got friends.
Fair.
Some of them
Alright.
may even be willing.
Exactly. Hey, listen, he's got a good
Friends in the
personality.
house that controls the
friendly.
trains.
Oh, he's not part of them, but he's got friends with
Okay.
them.
Yeah, the dragon marked houses are specifically separated from things like royalty.
Then honestly, they don't need it. They're basically mega corporations.
Pretty much.
Yep.
They've held their own wars.
They have
Squabbles.
their own private armies.
Right?
It's very realistic.
So
right.
Saris goes, all right, Mei Li, come along. Also Zarya. Actually, where'd you go, 11? We never ask, and you always disappear. I'm going to get ahead of this, in case we need to find you for whatever reason.
I'm going to the public baths. We've been
Right.
at sea. We've been on the water for a little too long, and I don't enjoy the way all of us have been marinating.
Public baths in a particular district?
Well, Thrain would be the closest,
Fair enough.
but I would most likely make my way over to probably the Horn Insider.
Good to know. We will keep that in mind and head over there.
Alrighty. Gearfried, how about you? Where would you be going?
Well, at the Horn Insider joke, Gearfried's going to chuckle to himself and a little bit too softly say, I hardly know her. I'm I figure I'm probably going
Ooh.
to
Yeah. Good to you.
I figure I'm probably going to head over to probably the Central District, see if I can't find anyone that might have seen Ramos. I mean, if I don't really have anything else I'm really planning on doing, so if I can at least gain some information, that's something.
You're going to be talking to the wardens then.
Hopefully.
Well, be careful. Your
I will.
interactions with the houses have been... Well, if I take your personality into account, you really don't want to deal with House Denaeth.
Yeah. I will choose my words carefully.
I wouldn't want to have to get you out from the Marshal's grasp.
I will be on my best behavior.
Oh, I'm not expecting your best.
Let's just put it this way. I don't plan on getting myself arrested. Getting Fennec out of jail was already enough of an issue. Actually, let me go check on him really quick. Gearfried's going to go up to the ship and retrieve the 100 gold that he stashed away.
Alrighty. Alright, so, Zarya, I'm assuming because you're being paid to guard the bodyguard, you're also going to Breland, right? The Breelish Quarter.
Yes. Yes, going with Saris.
And just so that I confirm, Levin, you would be going to the bathhouse, and then you said the Horn and Cider, right?
Yep.
Okay.
He's keeping it very simple.
Why is it that you just checking where we're going is making me nervous?
Because
Why?
you should.
Like,
Done. Just ignore the
Too
ignore the random
paranoid.
questions. It's okay.
uh,
Have I ever given you reason to worry?
yes.
Okay. Good answer.
Every DM has.
You want a list?
All right. So let's break this up a little bit. So
We're
Gearfried,
splitting the party out now.
not too badly. Three of you are staying together. One of you will be rejoining them in like an hour or two, and then the other is going to the Central District. Would you, I assume, be walking with them through the Breelish, or would you be going through like Placid Garden and Undare Quarter? Like, which route would you want to go?
I would, it's judging by these streets, it'd probably be on the way. So yeah, I'd probably walk with them through the Breilish Quarter for a little bit before, separating out.
Alrighty. And Saris, would you be leading them to the Horden Cider, or would you be trying to go to like the Emerald District? Where are you looking to go?
I think that she said BRB 5 minutes.
Okay, so we'll come back to that. For now, Levin, you would be able to find the bathhouse relatively easily as you exit the docks, and it is going to cost you about 5 silver pieces. It's a nice bathhouse. You get to keep the towel.
Yeah, he's not one to keep stuff that he's not going to keep with him, so... Nah, he'll just burn the 5 silver. And he'll start ruminating on the stuff that Saris brought up. Taking a moment's peace to actually be away from the group, and honestly, there's nothing that he would want to do on this island outside of getting information, but he can take his time with that. We're not going to be here long.
Yep, noted. So while you are ruminating and stewing, Gearfried, as you are with the party making their way through the Breelish Quarter, you are going to hear a rhythmic chanting. And it's, as busy as the street is, it's loud enough, but it also only sounds like it's 1 or 2 people.
Am I still with Zarya and Saris and Melee as I'm hearing this?
I'm going to say this is just after you break apart from them.
Okay, Gearfried will kind of look towards. Is it coming from a direction?
It's coming from the west, so further down the street. It's in your direction. As you continue walking up towards it, you're going to see a Warforged with a picket sign in his hands. On the sign, it reads,
Oh boy.
Equality for Warforged. As you come up,
Gearfried will.
you
Oh,
hear a
yeah.
chant. We want our rights just because we are not naturally born. And it sounds like a terrible chant. But there are two Warforges who would be there protesting.
Gearfried will approach. Always happy to see this kind of behavior. Gearfried will approach, and they don't allow you all. They don't allow you all to have equal pay just because you're Warforged.
No, when we get these shit jobs, you never see a Warforged as a secretary. No, they've got us doing only labor manual jobs. I've got a brain. And you hear a dink, dink, dink as he pokes at his head.
You know, that you do. It is a damn shame that people can't see. Do you have a petition you need me to sign?
Yeah, and you're going to see that he has a petition with, again, only 2 signatures on it.
Gearfried will happily sign his name on this petition.
Oh,
course he
thank you
does.
for your support. It's really, it's too bad because the protest down at Karnath has been taking all of our thunder. And you hear the Warforged who's behind him. Yeah, that's why. Not that
Wait,
nobody cares.
What's going on down in Karnath?
Oh, apparently a couple of villages and a couple of towns in Thrain have been ravaged recently, so people are protesting against it.
And it seems that Karnath is being aggressive towards their neighbors?
I don't know. I wasn't really that interested.
Uh,
It's come
well,
wartime. Us Warforgers are going to get our respect, otherwise we're going to leave everybody else to do their own thing.
well, I mean, have you considered banding together with the other Warforged and forming a strong union, if you will?
Yeah, he's been annoyingly persistent about that shit. That's why I'm here, and I'm the only one.
Gearfried's gonna kind of look back towards the direction he was walking, remembering his intended goal. As much as I would love to ingratiate myself in this, as it greatly concerns my sensibilities, I unfortunately can't do much beyond offering you the best of luck. I sincerely hope that you're able to convince the naysayers to your cause. It truly is one that needs more eyes on it. Unfortunately, I have things I have promised I need to attend to.
Well, thank you for signing the petition anyway.
Of course, friend, of course. Best of luck.
And you. And then they're going to go back to their bad chance.
At least give him a good chance.
Yeah, Gearfried's going to kind of listen to the chant for a second, and he's going to try to like quickly come up with a better, like more catchier one.
Alrighty.
And potentially give it to them.
They will be thankful if you do. And then with that, you would be able to continue on your way.
Per
Saris, where would you be going?
her first mission is that all-important cup of tall made the Brailish way.
So I'm assuming the Horde Cider.
Or, honestly, she's not that picky. The first place it looks like it serves tall on the way through.
All right.
Actually, ideally, if there's like a kiosk on the side of the street, like a street vendor.
There is not a street vendor.
She looks offended when she realizes this. Is there any street vendors? Not just for tall, but like, is there like a fried rat meat kebabs vendor?
No street meat or anything like that. No. Like you'll see a produce stand, but that's about as close as you would come.
Wait, no, this is all wrong. You don't put live produce where people can just walk by and see it. You have to put it under a top to make. If there's no street vendors, it's like are there any rats in the street?
That there are.
Okay, well, at least they're trying. How well fed are the rats?
Adequately.
Okay. This feels a little bit like home. Numerous rats, moderately well fed. Maybe they're eating people. Hopefully. It's just disappointing. But I will go into the first, I guess, establishment that I come across that looks like it serves a cup of tall.
Alrighty. You would be able to find one. It is a little hole in the wall. And the name of the place is the Thirsty Joint.
Tall Order. Tall Order. Okay, now Thirsty Joint. She walks in. She pays for the tall. She doesn't tip. Pays exact coinage. And leaves with it. How good/bad is it?
It's good. It
She
actually
pauses.
tastes.
Tall.
It actually tastes better than you're used to. So that might be off-putting.
Yeah, no. She tall is like It's like it's kind of like, it's not tea and it's not coffee. It's like an in between. It's like, what is it, made of roots or herbs or something? I can't remember exactly. No, one of the versions can be made with a root.
Hmm.
But it's basically
Interesting.
kind of in the same family as tea and coffee as a kind of drink, usually served hot. And when she tastes good, and then she spits it out like, what the hell is this?
Does it taste bad?
No, it tastes palatable and kind of delicious.
Then why are you mad?
Because tall shouldn't taste delicious. It should be bitter and angry and kind of mildly scalding on the tongue. Like this, it was just pleasantly warm.
Why would you
Or-
want that?
I want the taste of home. And she just dumps the cup out on the street.
You're not at home.
It's the Brailish Quarter. I'm from Breland.
I thought you were from the fucking place you talk about all the time.
Ron, it's in Breland, yes. Breland is the country, Sean is the city. Though,
That's pre-forgetting the lore of this world.
yeah, that's fine. Now, don't get me wrong. The people of Roach will say they live in the capital of Breland, but everyone knows the real capital is Sean. It's where everything happens.
Okay, cities are different.
Yes, and this one is a cheap facsimile. I bet the Horn Insider isn't even a brothel.
Okay, let's just... What are we doing?
How about we go and find out?
Indeed.
Yes,
we should.
agreeable.
How clean are the streets?
Closer to Sharn than it is Rote.
Okay.
So I would say it's like a 2, 3 in messiness.
Well, let me put it this way. Is it lower Dura, middle Dura?
I was
Middle
gonna
Dura.
say,
Middle Dura. Okay.
Yeah, Middle Dura.
Like Cyrus is used to a greater degree of squalor, and so she's like, I suppose this is sufficient. If you're into creature comforts like mild litter in your alleyways, barely enough garbage in there to make a home.
Now, Cyrus, do me a favor.
Yes.
Give me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh, hey.
No.
I mean, I'm good at those.
Okay.
Uh,
I know, it just makes me worried that he's asking for it.
16?
Okay. So that's going to be that. All right. So after that, you would like to go to the Thirsty Dragon, right? Excuse me, the Horn and Cider.
Horn and cider. Mm-hmm.
I hate it when he doesn't say anything after.
It's what a DM does.
I know. I don't like not knowing.
Saris goes to the Horn and Cider, and she pauses on the street to look at the facade of the building. Does it seem like, is it just looking by the outside, does it look like it's advertising like a tavern, an inn, a brothel, a restaurant?
It's a inn.
An inn.
Yep.
Has she seen anything that looks approximates a sex worker anywhere on the streets?
Give me a perception.
Jesus.
She's just trying to get it
Yeah.
her environment.
She's not a cleric to him.
So, yep, give me that perception check. Let's see how perceptive you are.
Okay. I'm utterly okay at these. 14.
Not at the Horn and Cider, but
Mhm.
about 2 blocks away, you catch the telltale signs of a streetwalker.
Okay.
But one of the other things that you notice is she's wearing shift weave, so she changes from one outfit to the other.
She frowns at that. She goes inside the Horn and Cider.
Alrighty. As you enter the Horn and Cider, you're going to spy somebody who almost immediately stands out. As in seeing somebody who belongs in Upper Dura sitting in a bar in Middle Dura. She is a human with long brown hair. Her clothes look expensive. And she's just sitting there sipping on a cup of mead.
Is she alone?
She is alone.
She sees that, and then she's going to quickly glance around to see if anyone else in the bar is, like, watching the woman. And what she's actually looking for are, like, basically other people like her who would see this woman as possibly a mark to steal from, or con, or even mug.
Would you like to use your current wisdom check, or would you like to re-roll your perception
I would
check?
like to re-roll my perception.
Please go ahead.
21.
Okay. You notice 2 individuals who seem to be scouting her. But the other thing that you notice is that there's at least 3 others who are doing the same thing you are. So basically, they're looking for people who are looking for her.
We're going to take, like, a booth that's maybe, like, two or 3 tables away from this woman so that Saris can watch her.
All right.
but she's going to be subtle about it. She doesn't want to be like very obvious. She suspects this woman is very dangerous, and she is having mixed feelings about coming to this establishment all of a sudden.
Okay. As you take that booth and you observe her, all you do is you notice that she occasionally looks at the door, looks around, and takes another drink. How long would you be sitting and watching her?
Well, at least through the meal, because Ceres is going to, in fact, order, like, I'm assuming it's evening, so some kind of dinner.
Yep.
Probably some, like, some basic stew, glass of cider, a side order of potato wedges. And she'll buy Zarya and Melee meals as well.
And Levin, about how long would you be in the bathhouse?
An hour at most.
Okay. So you'd probably be coming in at the end of the meal as well. Jumping a little bit over, we're going to take a look at what Gearfried is doing. Gearfried, you were making your way to the Central District. It is going to take you about 25 minutes to get there.
Alrighty.
And you arrive at the Central District relatively easily.
All right. Gearfried will go around and start asking, or at least, what's like the biggest, public house here? Is there like a tavern or an inn or something that's like got the most foot traffic?
The Central District would be more like public buildings, things like that. So you'd be able to find more of like the business, a couple of restaurants, and no real taverns or anything like that here.
Okay. Then Gearfried will. Can I roll like a history or intelligence check? I did drink with this guy for a little bit, so can I like see if I can pick out a place that he might have that seemed like it might have been up his alley?
You could certainly try. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Perception.
Nothing here
Can I
stands
use an
out as-
inspiration?
You certainly can.
Perception. I'm going to use a flash of genius to make that a 13.
Okay. Nothing particularly stands out. There are a couple of buildings that you would see he would probably stop in at because due to his job, they're like public official buildings. But other than that, nowhere that he might hang out in this district.
Gearfried is going to... is there like a public market anywhere?
Yes.
Okay, Gearfried will make his way over to the public market and just start asking around, like, hey, have you would have happened to seen a big fella, robotic leg, walking around anywhere in the last couple of weeks, have you? And just start, like, asking that to everybody.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
Boy. Persuasion. That's not my worst stat, but I roll like shit. I'll use another flash of genius to make that a dirty 20.
All right. After a few minutes, you have people for the most part ignoring you. But then a small, young, elvish girl stops and looks up at you. Robotic leg. We don't see too many that often. That does sound familiar.
Oh, hi there. You don't mind telling me where you might have seen this guy, do you?
Well, I've seen him in. If it's who I've seen people with robotic legs throughout every one of the districts. Do you have a name of an individual?
Yes, I do. Ramos?
Oh, that name's been coming up a lot lately.
Oh, it has it?
Indeed. In fact, there was a woman who's waiting for people in the Breelish area.
Oh, there is. Who specifically, and where might I find them?
She's going to look at you hesitantly at first, as if unsure if she can trust you.
Look, I understand that might be a little bit of a suspicious question, but I'm a friend of Ramos. I'm looking for him. He didn't exactly give us very good directions on where to find him, so we're kind of trying to retrace his steps right now.
Her name is Lady Alesta.
Lady Alesta. All right. Lady Alesta in the Breelish Quarter. Do you know any significant landmarks she might be located near?
I just know she was in a tavern.
Much appreciated, Loving. Yerfried's going to pull out a gold piece and hand it to her.
Thank you. And
Of course.
she's just going to walk away flipping it like a little gangster.
That was useful. Can I, as I'm looking at this, now seeing that she's kind of got a little bit of a swagger, can I roll an insight check to see if that might have all been bullshit?
You could certainly try. It doesn't seem like she was misleading you.
All right. She didn't ask for money. I gave that to her willingly, so. Breelish Quarter it is. And Gearfried's going to turn around and walk back over to the Breelish Quarter. Start looking for a tavern and asking for a woman named Lady Alesta.
All right. Would you regroup? Would you go back with the group, or are you just going to go tavern jumping?
Well, I don't know where Zarya or Saris went. I do know that Levin is going to be going to the bathhouse, so... Or one of the
We
public
did mention the
baths.
Horn and Cider as an end destination.
You did. Okay. I thought that was the tavern he was going to, the bath. So Gearfried will make his way to the Horn and Cider and then wait until he sees anyone so we can regroup.
Alrighty. Going back to the tavern, you have been served your meal. It's quite good. It is going to cost you a silver piece per.
Okay.
And
She will happily pay that.
you notice that this woman sits there, again, following the same patterns. You see the people who were scouting her are kind of getting bored and leaving, seeing that those who are scouting her, are watching them like hawks and being very being very obvious about it. This is going to take about an hour, so at this point, Levin, you would be able to regroup unless there's anything you'd like to do before heading to the Breelish Quarter.
Nope. He's gonna head into the Breelish Quarter and, if allowed, enter the Horn and Cider.
Okay?
He's
Yep.
entering and he's basically gonna scan the room to see if anybody else has shown up.
You would
Right,
see...
Saris will wave her hand.
You,
If she
you would
sees
see
him by the door.
Saris and company, but you would also be able to make out this woman who doesn't technically fit the accoutrement of the area.
All right. Knowing that Saris is usually of a mind to be up to not necessarily ill-advised things, but she's probably got something in mind if she's waving me down. He's going to go order a quick meal. And he's going to be specifically, like, Sharn loud about this. Yes, a beef bornel and replace the scalloped potatoes with charred potatoes, chilled blackroot tea, tall, and no. Do you have any sugar here?
Yes, we do.
Fantastic. Let's see, what else do I want? Trying to see what you nuts have. I guess I'll grab one of... You know what?
Well, he's being mildly obnoxious in placing his order. Ceres is going to excuse herself. There's like a powder room. Actually, no. She's going to walk upstairs like she has a room. And she's going to tell the other two to wait here. And Levin will join them, maybe. But she's going to go upstairs, and she's just gonna, as soon as she gets to the top of the stairs, she's going to look for a corner out of the way that is unseen. And then she is going to cast Disguise Self and turn herself into a woman not quite as dressed up as the one at the table, but slightly higher, better dressed than most of the people, kind of a middle of the ground between the two. And then she's also going to change her features to make herself look half elven, and she's going to give herself more of a ginger kind of hair bob. Well, no, she has a bob. She's going to put her hair in like a ponytail that's kind of tied up in a bun. And she's going to have
Give me a stealth check, please.
Okay.
All right. While she's taking that roll, to explain what Levin just ordered, he basically obnoxiously ordered burger and chips with an iced tea.
I would like to use an inspiration for that stealth roll.
Okay. I love it. So I'm going to give you an inspiration, and you're using an inspiration, so I'm going to leave it alone. I love it. It is going to cost you a silver
22.
piece. There you go. You are able to successfully stealthily alter your appearance in the middle of a tavern. Well, upstairs in the tavern.
Yeah, I went
Yes.
upstairs to kind of...
I know.
It looks like Sarah... Yeah. So, and then she's going to basically, once she's disguised, turn back around and descend down the stairs. And she's just going to walk right up to the table and take the seat next to the woman. Like, hello there.
Oh, hi. And she's going to continue to drink.
Can I buy you a top off on that drink? You've been nursing it for quite a while.
No, thank you. I'm fine.
Are you a regular? Do you come here often? You seem a little out of sorts. Also, look, she's gonna... Well, I'm sorry. As I say that, Ceres is glancing around to see how the hawks, the three watchers are doing with her sitting at the table.
All right, so to start us off, give me either a deception check or a persuasion check.
I'll go persuasion. 19?
Okay. Now, give me a perception check.
Okay, this is gonna suck. There we go. Perception. 12.
You notice at least one of them has their eyes on you.
Yep. She's just going to give them a little wave. And she's going to keep her hands very visible and on top of the table or draped over the back of the chair. She's going to make sure her hands are always seen.
Noted.
And she's like, so, who are you waiting for? And I'm not offended if you say me.
I'm not 100% sure, to be honest.
Oh.
But
so you're just...
No, it isn't you.
Oh. Okay, I'm a little offended. But that's all right. You're waiting in this... And she just sort of fine. establishment, nursing what I assume is subpar tall, and just waiting.
And do you always interrogate people you sit next to?
Yes, especially when they're giving off very dangerous vibes in the middle of a tavern. You have attracted quite a bit of attention just by being here, and I can't help but notice that you thought ahead enough to assume that would be the case, and you have friends of your own looking after you. Very smart, by the way. Very smart. So you're not new to this. I'm nosy. I'm so nosy, and I'm inappropriate. I ask rude questions. It's just kind of my thing. If you knew my friends, they would tell you that it's true.
You can go be nosy with them then, because somehow sitting here with friends makes me dangerous. Then what does that make you?
Probably stupid. But now I'm going to poke the bear.
Okay.
Why don't we
where's
wait
this bear?
together? Sarge's face falls for a second. I do miss the Brayland wit. Right. No, I'm going to. I'm going to wait here with you. You seem like you need company, something to pass the time, because you have the face of someone who has waited a long time, and you've just told me you have an indefinite amount of time to wait, so I can chat you up. You're kind of free game.
Her head kind of lowers. I should have brought a book with me.
Yeah, no, you really should have. I can bring you one the next time I see you. Or at least a paper, broadsheet, something. Just sitting, waiting. It's so conspicuous. What if, are you, I have to know, is the goal to get somebody's attention or to subtly blend? No, it can't be to blend in. This is just terrible, terrible craftsmanship. And judging by the fact that you brought protection, you're not that stupid.
You're going to notice that she's kind of like leaning away from you in her seat.
Yeah, I have that effect on people. Especially the pretty ones. Anyhow, and she's gonna sort of not quite mimic it, but she'll lean back a little bit so that she's not necessarily crowding her. I'm sorry. Let's start over. I'm very rude and I have no manners. Have you ever been to Sean?
Yes.
Then when I say I grew up in Lower Dura, that'll make sense to you. And that's where all my manners come from.
It does.
I'm so sorry that you had to meet me like this. Though, to be fair, you're getting me at my best. I apologize. But yes, no. My name's Ceres. And she won't like hold she won't hold out her hand to shake, but she'll give like a little bit of like a formal bow in the chair.
You're going to notice that her ears kind of like perk up at the name.
And your name is?
You can call me Lady Alesta.
Lady Alesta.
You know a cousin of mine.
Do I? Her eyes narrow a little bit. Well, this is unexpected. I wasn't expecting to know anybody in Thronehold, or know of anyone who knew me. Anyhow, yes, I'm sorry. It's just very fascinating.
Let me formally introduce myself then. My name is Lady Alesta Diorian.
Oh, you are slumming it. I apologize. More so than I could have ever assumed. I'm going to assume it's coincidence that we're meeting here and you're not in fact waiting for me or perhaps one of my companions.
It was a long shot. I heard rumor that you and your party, assuming you are with that party that has helped out my family on multiple occasions.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured I heard you were heading towards Karnath, and it seemed like a likely pit stop.
That's, I suppose, a reasonable assumption if one were to look on a map. And with now that we have been introduced ourselves, why do you seem to be looking for me and my companions?
I need to hire you.
Need to hire us? Don't hear that very often.
Oh, indeed.
I apologize, though. I'm not that kind of worker, and you can't afford me.
No, honey, you're not my type.
Oh, that's disappointing to hear. But she smiles all the same.
And you are also going to get back a wry smile.
She just sort of like, okay, well, I'm going to assume you don't want to go into too much detail here in the middle of the tap room. Is there a
No.
place that you would prefer to meet up to discuss
I have a room
matters?
upstairs.
Oh, that's convenient. We plan to be staying here this evening.
And with that, it's about this point, Gearfried, you would be entering into the scene. Levin, would you still be standing there?
While that's going on, he's continuing to be mildly obnoxious. Hey, is that spicy chicken panya there? Get me a plate of that. I got a friend coming in, and he'll probably enjoy that.
Oh, sure. And he's going to prepare what you asked.
And once that's done, he's going to go over to where Sarah's flagged him down, knowing that she's not at that booth. And he's going to be with the plate and his own food, and he's going to just wait for Gearfried to show up since he's not currently present.
Well,
Well,
Zarya, yeah.
Yeah, we're here. Zarya's just watching this entire thing with her play out because she knows Terrace's shit. She went up and someone else came down. It's her. We know. She does not give a shit. She's gonna eat her food.
Well, that's the thing. Like, Levin's going to sit down and he's going to. This is actually pretty good. You want some? And he's going to offer you like some of the fries.
Sure.
Like, this is something
over there
like you haven't seen
doing
Levin
something.
act like this yet.
Yeah, she kind of assumes everyone is doing something weird. She doesn't care. She's done.
It's a Friday.
Poor Zarya.
But, Gearfried, you would be entering the scene at this point. You would see these two fancy women talking it up. And then you would see the others munching down.
If Levin clocks him entering, he's just going to hold up the plate.
Gearfried will stroll over to Levin. And Saris, have you walked back to the group?
No, she's still at the table with Lady Alesta.
Okay, then Gearfried will walk over to the group and sidle up and very excitedly, well, I have fantastic news. I actually have a lead on Ramos.
Oh?
Apparently, some woman...
Here, Gearfried, food, noise hole.
Gearfried's going to look around, noticing that Saris isn't here. Gearfried's going to look around. I assume, where is she?
Points at the lady.
All right, Gearfried's going to sit down and start munching on food while he's listening.
What I pushed in front of Gearfried is on the higher end of spicy.
Ooh, Gearfried will probably like that.
But as you get back to the table, you would be seeing this going on. You now know which one is Saris. Saris, she is going to turn and say, if you can gather your friends and just meet me in my room. It's the third one to the left. 10 minutes should work.
Okay. Oh, before you go, I have to know, since we'll be getting rooms here later too. Do they have baths in here?
They do not, but there is a bathhouse 4 blocks away.
Good to know. Good to know. You have no idea. Now, thank you. Have a good night. I'll see you in 10 minutes.
And she is going to get up and she is going to go to her room.
Actually, as Sarah is saying that, she would attempt to take her hand and kiss it.
Give me either a persuasion check or a sleight of hand check.
I think I'm going to use persuasion. She is attempting something approximating charm. 19?
You are going to notice a faint flush across her face as she allows you to do it.
And Sarah just gives her sort of a devil-may-care smile and says, see you in 10.
And with a quick intake of air, she's going to make her way up the stairs.
And because Sarah's is wearing a different face than when she went up, she's just going to remain at the table. Got cat? No.
Cat is functioning normally.
She is drawn by all your moving cursors. Stop it. Stop it. I hate you all. Anyhow, gonna check a thing.
Yep. So while she's checking on the thing, what are the rest of you doing?
All right.
Gearfried will
you were
lean.
saying something, Gearfried?
Yes, I have a lead on Ramos. I was in the Central District Market area, asking around. Young elf lady came up to me, explained to me that she'd seen a man with a metal leg who had been talking to some lady named Lady Alestra. Said that she hangs out in taverns, much like this one.
Any other
Or at least,
information on our individual with the prosthetic aesthetic?
No other information beyond that she was talking to him. So if we can find this Alestra lady, we might be able to make her talk.
Any chance that lady was the lady?
That'd be incredibly coincidental.
Gearfried, at this point, honestly,
I mean,
What parts of our
given-
lives aren't a coincidence?
Given recent months, it would not shock me. Very little does anymore.
I'm finding myself to be actually pleased that the rest of you are getting information and I got to take a break.
Mostly Saris. I'm just eating my food and watching Melee.
Oh,
Food
man.
is delicious.
I
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Cyrus?
something like I don't think it's ever really come up because how little we use different languages. But does anyone in the party know Thieves' Cant other than Saris?
Levin.
Mm-mm.
I was going to say, I assume Levin.
And Levin
Okay.
has used it in front of you.
Okay, perfect.
And to
Great.
you.
It's been a while. Actually, now that I say it, I remember it. It's just been a while. Like Thieves' Cant has like hand signals too.
Yeah.
Okay, so you will see Saris subtly using Thieves' Cant to like basically indicate the room to go to when she gets up and leaves.
Apparently we have a meeting in 10 minutes upstairs.
And then she'll also use Thieves' Cant to let you know House Dorian.
To a previous benefactor.
Love the gods.
Well, she wasn't specifically looking over. It's most likely Diorin.
And after
Hand
his,
signals do have some limitations.
And after a certain amount of after the appropriate amount of time, Ceres will kind of casually get up and head on up the stairs.
Assuming you guys are going to follow a couple of moments later, or are you going to immediately follow?
Give it a few paces,
All right.
and probably
Ceres.
one at a time, I would imagine.
Okay. So you would all notice this in a gradual order. Ceres, you would notice it first. As you enter the room, what you would expect to be a regular bedroom has been altered. There's no bed in it at all, actually. What you do see is a table and chairs set up. You see it's as if there's paperwork strewn everywhere, as if this has been turned into a sort of office of sorts.
Oh God, they're gonna make us buy a timeshare.
Yeah.
Thank
Fine,
you,
we
thank
can
you.
sit through the 6-hour presentation and we get a free prize.
I still don't know what a timeshare is. I've heard about it, but I still don't know what it is.
Fancy renting.
It's a scam.
There
Okay.
you go.
It's
You would-
Airbnb, but it's Airbnb.
But
You would
unionized.
see- You would
Yeah.
see her sitting at what would be the head of the table.
Well, hello again.
Welcome. Come in and please shut the door.
Ceres closes the door, sits down, and now Ceres is gonna be more her normal self. It's like, sorry about the act out there, but I have a certain reputation to maintain.
No, that's understood. When I first saw you, I couldn't believe that you would be a explorer or an adventurer. So
Oh, good.
Disguise
Then it's
worked.
working. Well, the first time you probably didn't see me coming. Did you see me when I first walked in? Oh, you probably don't even know because you weren't paying attention. I guess it's working. I shouldn't be offended. Kind of am. That's all right. It's usually the course of my day.
you talk a lot.
No. I only talk in front of when I'm alone with ladies such as yourself. Dragonmarked houses make me nervous. I'm a chatty Cathy. What can I say?
And with that, you are all going to start coming into the room now, and then the door is shut.
I will
So-
pat the seat next to me for Zarya.
Before Levin would have gone up, he would have gone and inquired after purchasing a room for 2 people.
All right. It would cost 3 silver pieces per room.
Yeah, Levin will take care of pretty much all of us. He'll get the 3 sets of keys for 3 rooms.
So I would say that you're going to be the last one to enter. And as the door shuts, there's going to be a pulse of magic as basically a bubble of silence comes around the door to stop people from listening in.
Levin,
Huh. Where to begin?
The simple why usually covers a lot of things all at once.
I need to hire you for a job. I'm looking
while she's saying this, Levin's tossing a key to Ceres and a key to Zarya.
Yep, Ceres catches hers.
I
Same.
need information on a certain person. They've gone missing.
Mm-hmm. And this certain person, do they have a name?
Yes, his name is Ramos Duran.
Of course.
There it is.
Well, what has
Yeah.
Uncle Ram got himself into? Don't. She kicks. Sorry, she says that.
What?
No, it's. Anyhow, How may we be of service to House Dorian once again?
Let me start off with how much I'm willing to offer.
Oh,
Then I'll tell you
remuneration
what
up
we
front.
have to do. I am willing to pay 4,000 gold pieces.
Cyrus's eyebrows go up a little bit. Okay.
I feel like there's a but here.
If any international incident is caused, you will be disavowed. This is not
Okay,
an
so that's
officially sanctioned mission.
We're familiar with those. So far, everything seems on the up and up. I have to ask. You've gone out of your way to find us in particular, and there are more people capable. Well, I won't say not a lot of people, but certainly there has to be a group of people closer to home that would have been potentially available for this. Why us?
Deniability.
Besides that, I've had nothing but good things heard from Vashti and my cousin Alden.
The first
DM
one's a little bit of a surprise.
Was Alden the guy whose wife was cheating on him?
No.
That's Vashti, isn't it?
Alden
Va-
is the father of the son we saved.
Yep. That goes back a ways.
Yeah, it's before your time, technically.
Vashti is the guy whose wife was cheating on him?
No, Vashti was his assistant. That's who you
Oh,
met at.
Okay,
That's who-
right,
yeah,
because
that-
she's from Sharn, and the other
Yeah.
guy's from Rome.
Right.
And Horadin was the one that I believe his wife was cheating on him. Because you guys have worked
Mhm.
with the
Right.
Diorians a lot.
We do now. 3
Yeah,
times
seriously.
a pattern.
So, for a little bit of context, Ramos was tasked by the king to gather information about what's going on in Karnath. And he hasn't sent a message in well over a month.
All right. What was the last message you heard from him?
The king doesn't seem to be Caius the First.
Oh, that seems problematic.
Wait, the king. Hold on, was he investigating that urban legend that King Caius is actually a vampire?
Give me a persuasion check.
Persuasion, I'm okay at that.
That was part of the mission. He was trying to. The king wanted to verify the rumors. And as said, the other was to see whether or not Karnath is making attacks to reignite the war.
Well, we can speak a little bit to sightings of Karnathi soldiers being hostile towards their neighbors. We actually encountered a lesser vampire, commanding 2 Karnathi soldiers.
Well, yes, but any necromancer would be able to create his own undead. And it
Right.
wouldn't be too hard to get Karnathi uniforms, so before we act, we must verify.
Okay, well, it might help if, given the vampiric nature of the individual we ran into, are there any recent sightings of vampires of a greater nature in Karnath?
We don't know. This is what part of Ramos's mission was.
Well, I think it goes without saying that we're going to need access to all of Ramos's correspondence.
I do not have access to that right now.
Can you at least tell us everything that he told you about what he was doing?
Due to the nature and the distance, communicating was difficult, and he was assigned this mission about 2 months ago. In that time, he would report in on a weekly basis. But, as said, it all stopped over a month ago.
I think
Right.
the most important question we probably have at this juncture, assuming we do take this job, that has not been determined yet, is where was his last report issued from?
He was in the capital of Karnath.
Excellent. Just keeps getting better. All right. Well, that makes sense, given what he was investigating.
All I know is he used a couple of connections to get smuggled into the country.
Also, have you met Ramos? He is not really a subtle personality.
I have a question.
Yes.
Has
of course.
Karnath closed their borders?
Not to my knowledge.
He could have.
What?
He probably wanted to arrive. Like I said, he's not a subtle personality. Probably
No, but
trying to.
he could have been sent on official business and done this on the side. The fact that he's not is awkward.
But it's Ramos. Him arriving in any sort of public capacity draws attention.
So, let me see if I have this correct. You are offering payment to us for the job of ascertaining his location?
Finding out if he's dead.
Do you want
And
us
is
to
there a request for exfiltration?
that?
If you're able to get him out, I would be able to offer more. Right now, information is
How?
what I need.
How much more?
I'm not sure.
Who is he using as a bridge? To get the information out.
He used different methods. Once, a couple of times, was telepathic messages. Once or twice, paper messages.
I'm assuming that the messages sent over telepathy were to avoid blowback, but do you have any information on what was sent through a courier or by mail?
The only detail I can really tell you is the last message came through a more interesting means. It was a message that was delivered through the Boromar clan.
Oh? You don't say.
That's
Don't look
about
too far
all
into it, Saris. It's probably a floater.
That's about all I can tell you.
Actually, I have another question. And Saris will repeat the sending message that we got from Ramos, the weirdly cryptic one with the strange wording, and she'll say it to Lady Alesta, and it's just like, does this mean anything to you?
She's going to write down the message. On the immediacy, not so much. But I can't see him sending something completely nonsensical.
Neither can me, but we also can't quite make heads or tails of it.
I will think on it.
Well, You know, you can always send me a little message spell. I'll be happy to reply.
I can now. So, do you accept?
Can we have a little moment to discuss among ourselves?
Of course. You can come back to me when you're ready to either accept or deny it.
Excellent. Most excellent. Let us go discuss. To Levin's room.
So now, Saris, are you still in the fancy disguise, or are you back in your more
Oh
normal
yeah,
form?
no, she kept it up.
Okay. So as you make your way all to Levin's room, you notice two twin-sized beds occupying most of the room as you all gather in.
All right. I know it's kind of like a convenient double dip to get paid for the thing we're already doing.
I'm all for it. We need more money.
Then we'll become like the tools of House Dorian, and we end up working for the man, and then just gonna break up the union. The next job is probably going to be union busting.
Well, we could just do the job, take the money, and then use the money to fuck them. That's an option.
Saris, I'm actually surprised you're not jumping on this immediately.
I mean, I love the money.
I was about to say, the fact that you're so against it and trying to use my passion for unionization against me tells me that this is just a great idea.
Because this sounds like a lot for getting paid twice.
House Dorian keeps coming up, and I'm not really a fan of working for Dragon Marked houses.
What did you guys do for them?
Initially, when me and Saris met up in Sean, we were under the request of Sergeant Vilroy to investigate a couple of things, but we wound up finding a kidnapped child of the Eorian house.
First time we rescued a kidnapped child. The second time we dismembered some intruders. And apparently our reputation has grown since then.
There was also the protecting of items of interest.
That's what I said, dismembered some intruders.
But that happened later at the manor.
Right, okay. How risky is the job anyway?
We're going into a nation of militaristic undead to search for a loud individual.
Who is now, we found out, spying for the Dior, well, possibly spying for Breland and House Dorian.
But we were already doing that, so it's just
Thus
we were
the
already
comment about
planning
getting
on
paid
taking
twice.
the risk. Yeah,
And
yeah. So
well, I
now we
mean-
just
we do have reason to be in Karnath, actually. I'm from there. The Action Spires is a bit beyond Korth, but if Ramos is in Korth, then we can just simply say that, oh, we're stopping by on our way to the Spires.
Well, now we have a better picture of what we're possibly getting into. And I like Uncle Ram Ram as much as the next person, but this sounds potentially suicidal. And Levin was just pointing out he hates politics. And this sounds incredibly political.
I disagree that it sounds suicidal, but what I'm more concerned by is the fact that Ramos knows information, which at this point seems to be the optimal form of currency in the climate we're currently in. So finding Ramos isn't just a matter of getting paid, it's a matter of finding out what the hell's going on with Karnath right now.
I mean, information is always the optimal currency, but
Here, let me simplify
So
things.
ultimately it's getting paid thrice.
Saris, you encouraged all of us to go seek out Ramos.
So I
I
have to
know.
ask again. Why aren't you trying to get ahead of the situation with payment? If you refuse
It was-
the work, you're still going to go look for him.
I mean, we could not look for him and just do the thing for the Bormar.
Levin is gonna basically tilt his head like a freaking retriever, like, huh?
I mean, we're technically paid to do a very different thing, and finding Ramos was kind of just. We took on another
Mhm.
job to get here, and we still can make a
Yes,
pretty penny.
I'm aware of what parallel construction is.
This
Hello,
this
what?
gets.
It's when somebody doctors up a reason to go find something.
Oh. Okay.
Ceres was looking for an excuse to save Ramos and couldn't simply admit that she wanted to find him. So she looked for work that would take her there anyway.
I wanted to get paid.
And now we're
But
getting paid.
Ceres will have every one of us think she actually does care about a fair few things.
Oh, for me, that's less relevant.
But now the stakes are changing. You hear what he was sent to do? Basically spy on the monarch of a sovereign nation. And now we're gonna go traipse about, ask questions, poke a hornet's nest of very dead bees. And potentially
We just stole a huge important relic. And you're concerned about looking into some spy stuff?
Ceres, if we don't head into Karnath to deliver your item, you have
I'm not saying don't go into Kana. Still deliver the item. Get paid for that. But maybe we just don't go into the capital.
How about this, Ceres? How about we don't go into the capital as Ceres, Zarya, Fennec, Levin, and Gearfried? How about we go into the capital as natives of Karnath?
Well, the natives part wasn't, but the not going in as ourselves I thought was a given.
Ceres, I believe firmly that we will find some inkling as to where Ramos has gone in Korth. I think that at least having someone scout the area, maybe find a tavern, ask a few questions, is the wisest move.
I'm not saying
Accepting double pay for it, because we don't even need to find him necessarily. If we can just give him the information on to whether or not he's alive or dead, that's a coin in the coin purse right there.
I mean, look, I'll go along with whatever you choose, whatever the majority is. Just voicing the stakes have changed a little bit. Sure, the goal's pretty much the same, but the number of people and the power of said people that we can piss off has gone up a little bit more than I expected. And attention has never been.
So instead of having a dedicated group bent on your demise, you're going to have a dedicated group bent on your demise.
Don't follow?
You don't deliver the item, you have a dedicated group bent on your demise. You deliver the item and ask around and draw too much suspicion. You have a dedicated group bent on your demise.
That's why I'm saying we don't ask about Ramos. And we just deliver the item for Bormar. And then we go back and we get paid. It's a nice, perfect circle of money. And living. Did I mention the living part? I'm really keen on that part, because that's where the money's really useful.
Ceres, it's at this point that I'm genuinely surprised at you.
Because I'm not altruistic and I want to live?
No, that part's been readily apparent. But it's going to nag at you, not finding out about Ramos.
I'm willing to live a long time with that nagging. Emphasis on
Considering the number of
long
times
time.
you've threatened Gearfried, Fennec, and at least 15 people on the street, you don't let things nag you for long.
Well, you can be stupid sometimes. Shut up.
Oh, they're devolved into the "you're stupid" argument. Okay.
Look, Zarya,
I
you're
do not come
incredibly
back
attractive
there.
when you're mocking me, but I don't need it right now.
Can you? Okay.
Well, Ceres has already given her assent that she would go with what the rest of the group decides.
I'm
There's
firmly in
false
favor
rise.
of. I'm firmly in favor of taking the extra coin. We could use it.
Same.
I have no problems establishing a couple for myself. I'm an elf of Valinar. Being a mercenary is not hard.
I can be anybody. Doesn't matter for me.
I can always go back to the Owlman disguise.
I don't think
It's
I
gonna
have
actually
a disguise.
shudder at that.
Yes, Sarah just like looks at him. Disguise, right. Got it. Don't worry, Zarya. I can doctor up something. You're not the only Goliath in Corvair.
But Gearfried, I have to inform you. In terms of disguise, that's Ramos level.
Yeah, fair. I'll cook something else up. Go for a more masked motif. Less vigilante, more just person who is wearing heavy armor.
You're a citizen of Kornath. Be a citizen of Kornath.
I heard a story long ago of a tinkerer who made like this huge suit of like clockwork armor that he lived in. And he wore a mask. He was like a sort of pilot. You could be like the new Shah Aznable. That was the name of the pilot.
Thank you, Cyrus. I hate it.
Okay, maybe not. But, the mask would be kind of dashing if it's just kind of understated. Maybe just something around the eyes.
Why are we trying to be overtly clandestine about this? They haven't closed their borders. We can enter legally and go to wherever we need
Also,
to.
I am still a citizen of Karnath, so there is that.
Fine. I'll go tell her we're going to take the job.
Unfortunately, we also do have. Well, I mean,
Should I negotiate our extraction fee?
Well, I mean, I'm not.
Leave
sure
that one. Leave that one alone. I'm
I just
assuming
wanna
that
point
if,
out-
once we have him extracted, we could probably bargain for a little more.
I suppose that's one way of going about it, though. What are we going to do if we don't let him go? Hold him hostage until we get more money?
No, we just deal with it.
Fine.
It's more of a late game negotiation tactic. Hey, we managed to get him here safely without your help. Perhaps you should throw a little bit of extra coin our way.
And
Also,
that's
Cyrus,
do a little bit of extra coin.
A little for them is a lot for us.
I'm sure Ramos would show you more than a fair amount of appreciation.
Plus, I still need to get him that parcel.
Fine. And Ceres will just exit the room and walk back to the Diorian room and knock on the door.
Say, Gearfried, enthusiasm abound.
She is going to
Well,
tell you to enter.
Oh, yeah, Ceres walks on in. Hello again.
Hello. So,
Uh,
are you going to take the job, or should I find somebody else?
no, you're in luck. You're going to get us at the bargain price of 4,000 gold pieces.
Well, thank you very
Though
much.
we have discussed it, and it seems that given our current predicament and everything that might be in order to not just find information on, but aid in your cousin's extraction, it might behoove us to receive a portion of the payment up front as a sign of goodwill.
That could be arranged.
Half up front, half on delivery?
And you are going to see her walk over to a metallic box. And she's going to wave her hand over it and murmur something inaudibly. And
Love the slip of the tongue. Murder something inaudibly.
right, just murder. But a lock is going to kind of appear and open up, and she is going to give you the equivalent of, let's see, 2,000 gold pieces. That should be what?
200 platinum?
Yeah. So she's going to give you 200 platinum.
For everyone currently here, well, I mean, we got
40
to divide it
each.
by 5. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 40 each, 40 platinum each.
Is that fair?
Oh. That works.
Wonderful.
It will be a pleasure to work for you and for House Dorian again.
Well, this is one of those things that this never happened.
Indeed. But I'm sure House Dorian will remember all the same.
Outside of myself and my cousin, nobody else should know. People are never
Excellent.
very happy when dragon-marked houses appear like they're getting involved with countries.
Indeed. Seems like a bad idea, but you all keep doing it.
Mm. This one is a particularly special case. But as said, I can't go into that. Thank you very much, and I do appreciate it.
Before we leave, I did have one question. More of a just idle inquiry about the city, because I noticed some things while we're here. What exactly is the temperature on automatons and not being paid equivalently
No.
to their organic
No.
To be
compatriots?
honest,
Cyrus!
I've only been here for about a month. I am here as an envoy.
But, sorry, this is a inappropriate question for someone of your austere nature, and we're leaving now. Come on, Gerfried.
It was a polite question. Gifford's just going to
Mhm.
walk out while he's following her.
Gifford,
I
brief
wasn't
history lesson.
interrogating. I'm just
Gifford, the Warforged are emancipated. They're not necessarily treated equally.
damn shame.
But they still have the same rights as any other citizen. It's just... Well, people have to get their heads out of their asses.
I mean, they're not the people, sure, and they're free, but they're also made
Treated
of
like
wood,
shit.
covered in metal, and trained to kill everyone.
Not all of them.
Not all of them. My master has a very, very docile, friendly automaton that he's not just given consciousness, but gives a fair wage.
A large amount of the
Yo.
Warforged population was also dedicated towards logistics alone.
Wait, Geoffrey, did you say your uncle made a Warforged?
No, not my uncle, my master. Galahad.
When did he
Galahad-
make that?
I don't know. He's had sentries since before I was a student.
Before it was illegal to create more.
He's
Fine.
old. He's very old.
But that would also mean that your master has knowledge of the Creation Forge.
I would
And I
think
don't
so.
believe the Canet is in your master's name.
Galahad wouldn't teach me the exact methods behind his creation of Warforged. I asked about it one time. He brushed me off entirely. It's half the reason I chose to go, and Gifford's going to motion towards his armor this route. The other half is the way he liked to test some of the things he would create, but that's a story for another day.
Was your master with House Kenneth?
He wasn't affiliated with any house by the time I had gotten to him. He had actually quite a bit of negative things to say about the entirety of the Dragmark house to begin with.
Can't disagree with that.
Questions for later. All right. Saris, Zara, you have your keys. I'm going to retire.
On that note, we're going to call in here for the night.
Huzzah!
Till next week, everybody. There was a lot of interesting information dropped for this session. And we're going to see what happens. Till then,
Stupid
catch you
goddamn
next
Rambo.
week. Right? You almost seem mad at him now.
Little bit. And get Ceres killed.
How dare he make this more dangerous?
What? How dare he? How dare I use a person that you like as an exploitation for events? No!
Ceres doesn't like anyone, just slander.
That's not
But-
true.
Shut up.
Until next time, we will catch you later and have a wonderful weekend.
Good night, everyone.
Night night.
Goodbye.